Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Epic History's World War One series. Guys, if you don't know, I checked out episode 1, which was on World War One, 1914. I think they're splitting up by years, so we're currently on the second year of World War One, which is 1915. But of course, don't forget to check out Epic History. They got a whole channel where they do these dedicated videos to all this historic stuff, and they're so good. And the videos are so amazing. You're about to see in a second if you haven't seen already. And they got a Patreon in the description, so I'll put it in my description as well, so you guys can go check that out. Support their channel, because if it wasn't for them, man, we wouldn't be having these videos, man. But yeah guys, look, as always, that being said, let's get straight into the video. Let's go. I love this music, man. It's so intense.
January 1915. World War I is just 5 months old, and already around 1 million soldiers have fallen. A war that began in the Balkans.
1 million is crazy, man. Wow.
Around 1 million soldiers have fallen. A war that began in the Balkans has engulfed much of the world. The Central Powers, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire, fight the Allies, Britain, France, Russia, Serbia and Montenegro, Belgium and Japan. In Poland and the Baltic, the Russian army has suffered a string of massive defeats, but continues to battle German and Austro-Hungarian forces. Austro-Hungarian troops have also suffered huge losses and are humiliated by their failure to defeat Serbia. In the Caucasus Mountains, Russian and Ottoman forces fight each other in freezing winter conditions. While on the Western Front, French, British and Belgian troops are dug in facing the Germans, in trenches stretching from the English Channel to Switzerland.
Yeah, that's a mad trench line. Total war. Total war, okay. Is USA gonna get involved?
As part of the world's first strategic bombing campaign, Germany sends 2 giant airships known as Zeppelins to bomb Britain. They hit the ports of King's Lynn and Great Yarmouth, damaging houses and killing 4 civilians. At sea, at the Battle of Dogger Bank, the British Navy sinks 1 German cruiser, but the rest of the German squadron escapes. Command of the seas has allowed Britain to impose a naval blockade of Germany, preventing vital supplies, including food, from reaching the country by sea. Germany now retaliates with its own blockade. It declares the waters around the British Isles to be a war zone, where its U-boats will attack Allied merchant ships without warning. Britain relies on imported food to feed its population. Germany plans to starve her into surrender.
Talk about a siege, man. Like, these tactics that be going on in the war, like, this is why there's a book out there what called like something like strategies of war or something, but it's deep, because you really see how, you know, countries plan, like, in order to take down a country or a massive land, you know what I'm saying? You can do things like sieges, you try and starve them, infiltrate the inside, spies, all of that stuff. Like, this is tactical, man. This is so tactical.
Starve her into surrender.
And the crazy part about it is it's affecting real people. Like, some general at that time was like, we need to starve the UK population. Like, millions of people are not going to be able to eat because of someone's decision to do something like that. And just the whole war in general, if someone commanding troops to go out into the line of fight and knowing that a bunch of these people are going to die, but it's kind of like, everyone's being used as pawns here. It's like humans are literally getting treated like chess pieces, and everyone's dying. And like, when I'm hearing the numbers of people dying, like, it's mad. It's crazy, bro. This is mad.
Into surrender.
I don't know how people
On the Eastern Front, German Field Marshal von Hindenburg launches a winter offensive and inflicts another massive defeat on the Russian army at the Second Battle of Masurian Lakes. The Russians lose up to 200,000 men,
200,000.
half of them surrendering amid freezing winter conditions.
Wow.
The Russians have more success against Austria-Hungary. The city of Przemysl falls after a 4-month siege, netting the Russians 100,000 prisoners.
4-month siege.
Austria-Hungary's total losses now reach 2 million.
2 million! Yeah, I'm sorry, Austria-Hungary. I don't know what's going on with you here, but you guys are letting the team down. Germany's out here mashing work, and Austria-Hungary couldn't even deal with Serbia. And now they're getting buoyed up by Russia. Come on now, like, I'm glad Austria-Hungary is on Germany's team, because if Germany had, let's say, Russia backing them, which probably would never have happened, but, well, I don't know, but if that happened, then, yeah, Germany and Russia together, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Meanwhile, the British and French send warships to the Dardanelles to threaten Constantinople, capital of the Turkish Ottoman Empire. They believe a show of force will quickly cause Turkey to surrender.
Okay.
They bombard Turkish shore forts in the narrow straits, but 3 battleships are sunk by mines and 3 more damaged. The attack is called off.
Sunk by mines. Wait, so 3 battleships sunk by mines. So you're telling me like that the whole battleship game where you can like you have ships, that game where you have ships and then you place mines in certain areas. There's water mines. How does that even work? And how do you not see it? Mines in the water, sinking ships, and you don't see the mines. Someone please inform me of that.
The attack is called off.
French deadlock. Okay.
On the Western Front, the British attack at Neuve-Chapelle. But the advance is soon halted by German barbed wire and machine guns.
Wow.
British and Indian units suffer 11,000 casualties, about a quarter of the attacking force. 6 weeks later, at the Second Battle of Ypres, the Germans attack with poison gas for the first time on the Western Front.
Poison gas.
A cloud of lethal chlorine forces Allied troops to abandon their trenches. But the Germans don't have enough reserves ready to exploit the advantage.
Really?
Soldiers on both sides are quickly supplied with crude gas masks as a chemical weapons arms race begins.
Wow, chemical weapons.
The Allies land ground troops at Gallipoli, including men of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, the Anzacs. Their goal is to take out the shore forts that are preventing Allied warships reaching Constantinople. But they immediately meet fierce Turkish resistance and are pinned down close to the shore.
Wow.
The day before the landings, the Ottoman Empire begins the systematic deportation and murder of ethnic Armenians living within its borders. The Armenians are a long-persecuted ethnic and religious minority, suspected of supporting Turkey's enemies. Tens of thousands of men, women and children are transported to the Syrian desert and left to die. In all, more than 1 million Armenians perish.
1 to 1.5 million. The Ottoman Empire is moving insane right now. So I'm guessing, so a lot of Armenians must be, so we're in, let's say, Slavic area, and they must have moved out. So I'm wondering the history of that, but that's mad.
In all, more than 1 million Armenians perish.
That's mad.
The Allies condemn the events as a crime against humanity and civilization, and promise to hold the perpetrators criminally responsible. To this day, the Turkish government disputes the death toll, and that these events constituted a genocide.
Wow, a genocide. So it's like, it was like that.
On the
I know what genocide, that's pretty much when you just wipe out a whole freaking Genocide meaning, let's make sure I understand. Yeah, a deliberate killing of a large number of people from 60 nations. Okay, cool. So, and they're not completely wiped out, of course, with the aim of destroying the nation or group. But the aim was to destroy them. But wow, mad.
On the Eastern Front, a joint German-Austro-Hungarian offensive in Galicia breaks through Russian defences, recapturing Przemysl and taking 100,000 prisoners. It is the beginning of a steady advance against Russian forces.
Hey, Austro-Hungary are doing something now.
At sea, the British passenger liner Lusitania, sailing from New York to Liverpool, is torpedoed by a German U-boat off the coast of Ireland without warning.
Yeah, that's mad.
1,198 passengers and crew perish, including 128 Americans.
What's in New York? It's in America now.
US President Woodrow Wilson and the American public are outraged.
I can imagine.
But Germany insists the liner was a fair target, as the British used her to carry military supplies.
Wow.
In May, the Allies launched the Second Battle of Artois.
Their target is crazy though. Even I can imagine the propaganda and then the media war going on, like, you know, to just, because right now, I mean, consider how a lot of this sparks from just an assassination of like Francis Duke Ferdinand, or whatever his name was, and then it sparked this domino effect. I can imagine now, like, you know, you shooting up a US, you know, ship, that can now cause a whole nother domino effect. Now USA is involved. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what sparked someone their interest in getting involved. But then, yeah, that whole torpedo thing, we was showing the whole 4,000 miles, 5,000 miles in like the first episode. Yeah, crazy distance, man. Crazy distance when he showed the radius on this. This video is sick, man. Again, shout out to Epic Histories. I mean,
in another effort to break through the German lines.
Crazy.
The French make the main attack at Vimy Ridge, while the British launch supporting attacks at Aubert Ridge and Festubert.
Right.
The Allies sustain 130,000 casualties and advance just a few thousand yards.
73,430,000
That summer,
deaths.
above the Western Front, the Fokker Eindecker helps Germany win control of the air. It's one of the first aircraft with a machine gun able to fire forward through its propeller, thanks to a new invention known as interrupter gear. Allied aircraft losses mount rapidly in what becomes known as the Fokker Scourge.
No, Germany is cracked, man. They are OP. It seems like they seem to be the ones that come up with these ideas first, you know, at the time at least. At this time.
Italy, swayed by British and French promises of territorial gains at Austria-Hungary's expense, joins the Allies, declaring war on Austria-Hungary and later the Ottoman Empire and Germany.
See, not Italy wanna get
The
involved.
Italian army makes its first assault against Austro-Hungarian positions along the Isonzo River,
Don't do
but
it
is
to Austria.
repulsed with heavy losses.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Allies face a crisis on the Eastern Front. The Russians have begun a general retreat, abandoning Poland. German troops enter Warsaw on the 5th of August. Tsar Nicholas II dismisses the Russian army's commander-in-chief, Grand Duke Nicholas, and takes personal command. It will prove disastrous for the Tsar, as he becomes more and more closely tied to Russian military defeat. At Gallipoli, the Allies land reinforcements at Suvla Bay, but neither they nor a series of fresh attacks by the Anzacs can break the deadlock. Conditions for both sides are terrible. Troops are tormented not only by the enemy, but by heat, flies, and sickness.
Yeah, weather is...
In the Atlantic, a German U-boat sinks the liner SS Arabic. 44 are lost, including 3 Americans.
Yeah.
In response to further US warnings, Germany ends all attacks on passenger ships.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, actually, I am surprised that Germany's holding off just them because, you know, USA is warning them, look, Germany, chill out. Germany's like, alright. But something tells me that Germany's got to sign up their sleeves, man, because Germany's moving crazy this. They're great.
On the Western Front, the Allies mount their biggest offensive of the war so far, designed to smash through the front and take pressure off their beleaguered Russian ally. The French attack in the Third Battle of Artois and Second Battle of Champagne.
Champagne is
The British, with the help of poison gas, attack at Loos. Despite initial gains, the attacks soon get bogged down with enormous losses on all sides.
Damn. That's mad. That's mad numbers.
Allied troops land at Salonika in Greece to open a new front against the Central Powers and bring aid to Serbia. But the Allies are too late. Bulgaria joins the Central Powers, and their joint offensive overruns Serbia in 2 months. That winter, the remnants of the Serbian army escape through the Albanian mountains. Their losses are horrific. By the end of the war, a third of Serbia's army has been killed, the highest proportion of any nation. Fierce fighting continues on the Italian front, as Italian troops launch the third and fourth battles of the Isonzo. Austro-Hungarian forces, though outnumbered, are dug in on the high ground and impossible to dislodge. In the Middle East, a British advance on Baghdad is blocked by Turkish forces at the Battle of Ctesiphon, 25 miles south of the city. The British withdraw to Kut, where they are besieged. The Allies abandon the Gallipoli campaign. 83,000 troops are secretly evacuated without alerting Turkish forces. Not a man is lost. It's one of the best executed plans of the war.
Wow, that's insane.
The campaign has cost both sides 250,000 casualties. 1915 is a bad year for the Allies. Enormous losses for no tangible gains. But there is no talk of peace. Instead, all sides prepare for even bigger offensives in 1916, with new tactics developed from earlier failures. All sides still believe a decisive battlefield victory is within grasp.
Wow. So you're telling me that's what's still fueling it?
Epic History TV relies on the support of viewers like you. Please visit our Patreon page and consider pledging as little as $1 per video to help us keep making them.
Yeah, man, shout out to Epic History again. I'm gonna put their Patreon stuff in the description, and just the whole fact that people are like the whole war is going on for a year. I'm trying to imagine that, like, if this was happening now, obviously things are a bit different now with nuclear bombs, but if this is happening now, the whole, you know, things getting bombed, casualties getting lost. I mean, losing casualties, suffering casualties, all of this stuff, like that. I can't even imagine what that would be like. Obviously, the maddest thing I've had to deal with in my lifetime is COVID, let alone World War I. So I'm just like, because there's people out there that were really having to deal with this, like these general commanders sending people out, real people out for war, knowing that a bunch of them are gonna die. Even the mindset of humans at the time, like, must have been so mad. The PTSD is crazy. Killing people becomes like wow. That is absolutely insane, man. But nah, it looks like it's gonna get worse in 1916. So guys, look, let me know if you made this point in the video by commenting down a red heart. You know, just to also commiserate, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to pay homage to those who died in the war. And it also lets me know who my real ones are, of course, who made it to this point in the video. And yeah, man, 1916 is next. So with that being said, guys, I'm the boy JayFlex. This has been 1915 World War I, and you guys have made this point have been absolutely wonderful. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.